All right, welcome in everybody. Jason, TCP Supersystem. Welcome to another crypto rapid fire. There'll be some stocks in here as well, but essentially this is just where we go through the monitored cryptos and stocks that we have. We stop on the charts that we think are worth discussing, and that's all we do tonight. So enjoy. Again, the system signals interpretations. My actions may not be suitable for you. Not recommendations to buy or sell. It's just how we identify opportunity zones in cryptos and stocks, and we share that information with you for free to educate and inform. So please consult an advisor if you want to take any action. So again, left side is the daily view, right side is the weekly view. This is the TCP super system. Standard deviation and mean reversion methodologies up top, main indicator in the middle, three hot sensors at the bottom, short, medium, and long term. So here we go. And on the hot sensors, it goes white, gray, blue, yellow, orange, red on both the top side and the down side of the midline, red being the most opportunistic historically. All right. So Bitcoin will be first. I will stop on Bitcoin because this is remarkable. And we did a short earlier today. I think that might be on TikTok. But uh, back when Bitcoin was trading about 122, I want to say it was, and that's on YouTube. You can go back and look. We actually told you it was likely to go to 105 to 108. And that's a huge leverage liquidation zone. And it's literally inside of that zone as we speak. It is 107,139 right now. And this is October 17th. So, can't say we didn't nail that one. And I'm telling you, I would urge you to show me anyone that's pointing out these specific price points and absolutely crushing it. Because we've done it consistently over the last month. You can go back and check. And if you get value out of all this TA, please like, share, subscribe, help us get this out there and inform folks. We love our community. We understand the game, and we just want you to understand how all this works. So yeah, Bitcoin likely coming down to support here. We got a 50-day moving average around 102. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. I will say this: we'll begin reevaluating the leverage zones, and we'll adjust these targets going forward. You will see on the upside, we do have a zone already identified for Bitcoin around 129 to 132-ish, somewhere in that range, so about 130. So that's what we're looking for on this next run up is 130. So that's Bitcoin. XRP, not going to talk much about XRP right now. Again, if you go look at our videos, especially TikTok, we call for 222. It literally bounced inside of that zone last night and bounced right off of it back to 233. And then we've already got a zone identified on XRP up here around 314 to 333. Or basically 333, I think is what it should be. Or 323, somewhere in that range. So that's what we're looking for next. So that's XRP, HBAR. HBAR. We are getting a level 2 diamond here on the weekly. We don't really have a diamond here on the daily. We are on a confirmed downtrend. Things look pretty weak. What we're going to look for here on HBAR, on the weekly, we want this white line here to get back up into the green, and we want in the daily, we need the white line to be back up here in these extremes on the upper side. That's typically what happens before you get a nice push to the upside. So not sure that we're over here on the downtrend. Again, nothing down here on these hot sensors are red on the downside. So yeah, this could likely go a little bit lower. So maybe a great opportunity for us to scale in and dollar cost scale in even more. I will say HBAR is one of our biggest holdings for transparency. We don't really ever sell it. We always add to it when these opportunities pop up because of their governing council and the major players that are part of this ecosystem. We think this is going to be absolutely a monster in the years to come. But that's just my opinion, not financial advice. Aave. All right, this is interesting. Weekly chart on Aave, you can see we're getting a level 3 green diamond right off of this, right before it's hitting this support level here at 182. That's the 50-day, I'm sorry, 100-day. But on the daily, we're only at a level 1. And the hot sensors on the weekly are getting weaker, not stronger. So although we got a level 3 here, just like you saw back here, that was the first level 3, and we got a series of level 3s as this trend played out. So I think that's kind of where we are here. I think Aave still has some room to the downside here because of this. Again, the standard deviation methodologies on both are down in the lower extremes. You can trend sideways a little bit here before we get the next bump. So this looks pretty weak as well. Cardano, again, I mean, guys, show me someone else, guys and ladies. We're literally in the zone right here. We called it again. This is another prime example. We have another zone back up here to the 90 to 95 cent range. I think that's where we're going once we bounce higher. But again, you can see here on the daily, that white line, it's almost back to that green opportunity zone. If I can scale in here, we're going to want this to get up into this red zone and beyond, and then we'll see a pump. Again, we don't have any, we had some diamonds back here when we had that scam wick on the market the other day. Excuse me. But so we'll see what we do in this area here. This is a huge support zone, so we'll see. I would likely think, again, you can see on the weekly that same support zone right above that 200-day moving average. So which makes sense, right? That's usually a big support zone. So that's Cardano at 63 cents right now. Arrow just downtrend. Anchor, we can skip that one. API 3. Algo. And a lot of these are going to look the same, right? I mean, the crypto market is pretty, I would say for the most part, all these kind of, they're not really decoupling from each other, so they all will kind of look similar. There may be a one-off here and there that where the indicators are saying something a little different, but again, you can see it's kind of the same formation on algo, so I'm not going to repeat myself unless I just see something really interesting. All right, so this one is interesting. So this is Aptos, and you can see any graph that we show you, if you see this dark green line here, horizontal line, that means we have a position ourselves at that level. So yeah, I jumped into Aptos a little early. I mean, 451, not a big deal. It's gone lower, sure. All that means for me is more opportunity. And you can see on the daily we've got a level 2 followed up by level 1. Things are deteriorating. We're down in these lower extremes. Again, the same thing on that white line. We need to be back up here. But on the weekly, at the same time here, we got a level 3 with a red medium-term hot sensor. So things are definitely beginning to approach what I would consider to be a bottom opportunity. Again, that's going to be predicated on this white line getting back up here, and then we would be willing to pull the trigger. So that is Aptos. Excuse me. We're going to skip through a couple of these here. AVAX, BNB. All right, so BNB. So BNB, go back and look at our YouTube video when it was up here around I think it was 1147, I believe. And we said it was likely going to go a little bit higher and then tank to 830 to 840. We literally said that in the video. You can go see for yourself, so you know I'm not lying. Now, we haven't quite reached 830 to 840, but you can see where we are now at 1,089. So it's starting to come down here. Again, you can see we had level 2 diamonds over here on the weekly view with a red short-term, medium-term, and long-term hot sensor. I'm telling you guys, the system, coupled with dark blue X up here, and we're in the extremes while we have a downtrending white line that's penetrating back toward the red zone. That's a top for this system, and you can see what's happening. So we'll see if we get back all the way back down to 830, 840. And I don't want to say I told you so, but we told you so. So we'll keep moving. That was BNB. Caveat. So we don't really like to invest in meme coins. We do follow a couple, mainly Bonk and Shiba Inu. That's probably really about it. So I really don't prefer to look at meme coins because I don't really invest in them anymore because I think the major players win and winners take most. So, but you can see on Bonk, I will say we got 2 level 3 green diamonds here, but you can still see in the short term on the long term. So the weekly would be what I would call a long term view, but it's a short term hot sensor. We're only in the yellow. Sorry. So we still have orange and red to go there. So we could see a little bit more couple more diamonds there. On the daily view, we're not really red anywhere or orange anywhere. So that's actually interesting. Let's see, hold on. We're not this very well. We could actually be there. Let me look at this a little closer. So that white line is testing the green zone. So this one honestly looks the best compared to what we've looked at so far. A few more days here, and we're penetrating above that red zone. Bonk could run, and of course it's a meme coin. So if you have a run, any fraction of a move is a huge percentage gain. So for those meme coin lovers out there, Bonk doesn't look too bad here. But like I said, those level 3 diamonds are typically our most, or I guess our favorite indicator. So centrifuge, I don't even want to talk about that candlestick. Yeah, we can skip that one. Doge, polka dots, Ethereum. Look at this, guys. Golly, it's so beautiful. So this is beautiful. So I will stop here. So Ethereum, this is just my personal opinion. You have spot ETF applications coming for a multitude of cryptos. I think HBAR, I think Avalanche is in there. Obviously XRP with like 18 or 20 ETFs. I think Litecoin even has one, and probably I think HBAR has one coming. So there's several crypto projects out there with ETFs coming where institutional money will flow into those. So I think what you're starting to see here is a rotation out of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, probably into some of these altcoin ETFs, which can give you a bigger ROI return. But I want you to see this, even if you didn't know that, right? This is what our system tells us, which is beautiful. So if you look on the weekly view, we got a string of level 3 diamonds, red, red, red. We're in the extremes. And right here, this white line, on that weekly view, when you start getting that turnover back toward that red zone, this is what you typically get. Now, when you get that turnover, you usually come back to the cloud, and it's usually either the top of the cloud or the bottom of the cloud. That's the support zones initially. If it fails the bottom of that cloud, then you're probably coming down here to the 3,100 mark on Ethereum, at least. So that's another $800 drop on Ethereum. And since I'm calling for that, let's go over here real quick and just take a peek. We'll take a quick peek at the leverage heat map on Ethereum. This is the monthly view, and look at this. So I've actually gave it too much credit. So we can see a drop all the way down to roughly 30, I'll just say 3590 to 3600. That would wipe everything out. And that's, that's what is there. What did I say? 35, 36? Let's see. Hang on. Yeah, 3600. So yeah, 3600. That's basically a double bottom right here from that scan wick we saw the other day. But again, I still feel like if it breaks the bottom of that cloud, we're probably looking at those 50-day and 100-day moving average levels. So I still think it would go around, and this will continue to move. So let's just say it's 3,100 right now. Let's just say 3,200 for Ethereum. But I just think there's much better opportunity. We would have to be looking for some signals here to fire to get back in. But you can see on Ethereum, look at this. This is great. Check this out. We had a cluster of level 3 diamonds. This was back, the bottom was back on April 7th. And look at that. And boom, up to the top here, extremes with the reds. I mean, that's how we use the system, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm telling you, it makes my life a lot easier. So that's that. Looking pretty weak there on Ethereum. Filecoin. Ooh. That one looks interesting a little bit here. Let's see. So Filecoin looks pretty interesting. Level 3 diamonds on the downside. Lower extremes. We hit the lower extremes on the daily. We got a level 3 down here. A little bounce higher and a retracement. The white line's trying to penetrate the green zone, but just not yet. Not quite ready yet. and we're in the yellow, so this is getting there, close. We're just not quite there yet. And then red on the medium and long-term hot sensors over here. So this one's getting close for Filecoin. So watch that one. That's interesting. Goldfinch will pass on. The graph, pass on for now. Hyperliquid, will pass on. Jupiter, which is a Solana token, we will pass on that one for now. Pass on Maker. Pass on Near. You can see Near, we have a position in at 282. It's at 218, and I could care less. I'm down. Just opportunity for Near. I think it's a big one. Ondo. Again, Ondo, we're in at 102. It's at 71 cents. Don't really care. I think it still has a little bit of weakness left. Let's see. Optimism. Man, there's a lot of diamonds here. I'll skip it. Let me pull this up a little bit so y'all can see. There we go. Let's skip that one. So we're starting to see some diamonds here on a lot of these. So that's how you know we're getting pretty close. But you can have a few weeks where you have these level 3 diamonds. So it could run that way for a little bit. So close, just not quite there. So Solana's one we told you before too. We got out or warned you about when it was 240. You can see that green line right there. That's where we got out, 240. And we had told you about this liquidation zone down here about 184. And there's your green bar, literally inside of the green bar. That's how we do it, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see again, level 3 diamonds. You get the nice pump. This is how we make returns. So stacks. Let's keep going. I'm only going to stop if I see something really good. Well, we'll stop here. Always got to stop on World Liberty Financial. That's the Trump family token, where their family's involved. I will tell you this. There is a World Liberty corporate treasury company, which is this right here, this Alt 5 Sigma Corporation. And I want to show you something which is going to be really damn cool. So this is Alt Sigma, or Alt 5 Sigma. You can see the big downtrend in this. This is a stock. So this is the downtrend in their stock. They diluted their shares so they could raise capital. Makes sense. So they're buying World Liberty Financial, right? Or promoting World Liberty Financial as well. But we're on the weekly though. Look at this. This is crazy. Price action has. I mean, these are level 3 diamonds, and this is why I tell you it can trend that way, right? So we got level 3 diamonds. We're getting level 2s at the same time, which is really starting to be strong. We're in the red. We're in the red. This is where you typically find your most opportunistic moments when the fear is the highest. You got to be willing to go. I'm not telling you to go. I'm telling you we're about to go. We're probably going to go pretty damn heavy. I'm not going to tell you how much, but I will bring you the trade when it occurs. Because when you have corporate treasury starting to look at that, obviously they're going to be trying to tokenize and do other things with that token. Could be special, or it could be a dump. But I know it's pretty heavily concentrated with the token supply, so I don't really like that. Because at some point there's probably going to be a dump, but I still think there's a lot of potential here, potentially, and those level 3s, regardless of what token it is, it's a level 3, it's a level 3. So that's how I'm looking at that. So we'll bring you our trade when we make it, but because that's the stock. Now again, going back to that token, it's had a nice rundown since. I guess this is the time it's been on TradingView. We don't really have any signals yet on the weekly, just because it hasn't really had enough history to have any real data here. So we don't really have our system isn't really going to be effective here. Now on the daily, we are starting to get level 3 diamonds here. We had that little pump back to the cloud like we usually do, and then further retracement. Now this is improving, But again, we only have enough data for this short-term hot sensor. So, and then the standard deviation methodologies. So again, you can see that white line's getting back into that green zone. Doesn't even have enough history to have the orange or red lines. So, I mean, again, it makes this one a little bit more difficult to give you analysis on. But if I see that white line get above that red zone, I'm pulling the trigger. And again, I'll bring that to you. And that may be one for the next year. But that's World Liberty, XDC, XLM. So I got some stocks down here. I'll show you CleanSpark. We actually literally gave a warning the other day on TikTok, I believe it was, maybe YouTube as well. I want to show you this. Daily, we only had level 1 diamonds, right? And you can see the uptrend with the green cloud. But you had these blue X's up here. That's your heavy, that's extreme price action, right? So usually if you get extreme price action, you're going to revert back to your kind of your mean or more average price, right? At the same time, you started seeing this white line come back down, right? Same time as you were getting that diamond, look at that last green bar. You're in the red, you're in the red, you're in the red. It's that simple. Weekly, series of 3 level 3 diamonds. Again, red, red, red. And when you start getting red, the darkest red diamonds with the red hot sensors, all three, it's basically screaming at you to run away, right? And we actually told our viewer base that, hey, it was literally, I think when I released the video, I think it was $23 and change. And it's literally on the video. And I said, hey, this thing's about to fall, be careful. And then boom, here we go today, 1952. And I don't think it's done by any means, but we'll see where we go. But this is the kind of content you can get here with the TCP Supersystem. This is a system I built. Cannot find this anywhere else. It's not publicly available on TradingView. Only I can share this with you. I'm available. All you got to do is reach out via comments and chat. Always willing to go through any crypto or stock you want to go through. So just keep that in mind. There are some things coming next year where there'll be some community calls and some one-on-one options where you can literally have a one-on-one call with me. We will be charging for that, but right now we're not offering that. But again, I want to show you this stock too, because this is my stock for the next decade, basically, for the next 5 to 10 years. I think MetaPlanet could be absolutely massive. This is basically a Bitcoin proxy. They're just like Strategy that's run by Michael Saylor. They leverage credit markets, debt markets, dilute their stock to buy Bitcoin. And I want to say they're the 5th largest Bitcoin holder in the world from a corporate treasury standpoint. And you can see this huge downturn on the daily. We got the level 2 diamond. On the weekly chart, we got tons of level 3 diamonds now. We're in the red on the short-term hot sensor. So this is literally screaming, do something. Now, what I do may not be suitable for you, but I can tell you we are going to go heavy here on MetaPlanet. Stock pick up the next 5 to 10 years. If it does anything like Strategy did, this could be, I mean, in my sole opinion, I think this could be 100x. Now, stocks and traditional stocks, they have mechanisms to manipulate stock prices higher through reverse stock splits and other things that I hate, but I still think it could be 100x here long term. But watch MetaPlanet, Japanese stock. Let's see what else. I think that's all I'm going to show you tonight. So again, always willing to take a look at any crypto or stock you want. You just got to put it in the comments. I'll try to get to it if I can. All original content. And I'll just ask if you see any value in this stuff, please like, share, subscribe, help us get it out there. We are trying to grow the channel. We do this for free because I want to, not because I have to. I just want to help educate and inform people on how this game works, because so many people get involved in these markets and they have a bunch, they trade with fear and greed, and it will absolutely wreck you. And it's unfortunate. I will always say stay away from leverage. I never touch it. Market makers can see those levels. so happens that these asset prices nail these leveraged liquidation levels and go right back up immediately. It's remarkable how that works. But until next time, I love y'all. Be blessed, and we will see you in the next video. Thank y'all for watching.